But after a record time spent in lockdowns, Victorians are looking forward to further easing of restrictions.
Melbourne on the fast track to COVID normal. The Victorian Premier announcing this is the last weekend of harsh restrictions, with the state moving to the next phase of reopening in 5 days' time.
I can confirm that at 6 p.m. this Friday, we will flick the switch and we will move to 80%.
Retail reopens, masks can be ditched outside, density limits relaxed and the divide between Melbourne and regional Victoria lifted in time for the Melbourne Cup long weekend, beginning what the Premier's coined Victoria's vaccinated economy.
2 doses or you're not getting in. 2 doses or you're not going to work.
The next step kicks in when 90% of those aged over 12 are vaccinated, predicted for November 24. There will be no limits to indoor and outdoor gatherings, masks scrapped in all but high-risk settings, on-site work returns for the fully vaccinated, retail, hospitality and entertainment venues back to full capacity, and major events are back to full crowds. Business owners counting down the days.
Obviously been quite restricted in this first week of the 70 packs, 50 outside, 20 inside. Next week we go to almost 3/4 of our capacity, which is fantastic.
Regional tourism operators inundated with phone calls for Melbourne Cup long weekend.
The phones were running hot. The booking screen is just filling up. It's just fabulous.
Retail groups estimate Victoria's COVID-19 restrictions have resulted in losses of around $55 million a day. Despite concerns over staff shortages in retail and hospitality, industry leaders say today is a good day in Melbourne.
From Friday of next week, every business in this state can trade, but importantly, they can trade viably.
But it's a week too long for the opposition.
They're going without an income again for another week.
While concerns are growing for detainees at the Park Hotel alternative place of detention, Australian Border Force confirming the COVID outbreak has risen to 20. State health authorities say infection control teams have met with operators at the federally run facility.
I'm about to write to the federal government setting out the concerns that the public health team have brought forward.
The ABF says just over half of detainees in the immigration detention network are fully vaccinated.
And joining us now from Melbourne is our reporter Abby Dinham. Good evening, Abby. The Premier today had some very strong language on the easing of restrictions for those who aren't yet fully vaccinated. What did he have to say?
That's right, Janice. As we heard, the Premier's now speaking in terms of a vaccinated economy, and those who haven't had 2 doses won't be able to participate. So from next Friday, gyms, cinemas and the like reopen, but only to those who have been double dosed. The Premier says that includes patrons and staff, as he said, 2 doses or you can't come in, 2 doses or you can't come to work. Now, his office later clarified that non-essential retail workers will have until November 24th to get fully vaccinated. So this next step on the roadmap to recovery for Victoria will happen Friday, regardless of whether the state reaches that 80% vaccination threshold or not. The Premier said he wanted to give Victorians some assurances that they will have a Melbourne Cup long weekend this year, giving people time to make plans and make the most of the lifting of regional travel restrictions. Now, the effect of that was almost immediate. I spoke to several caravan parks and tourism operators in regional Victoria who say that the phone has been ringing off the hook since the Premier made the announcement around midday today, and they couldn't be happier.
Thanks so much, our reporter Abby Dinham, on the latest of Victoria's easing restrictions.